Bitcoin enters price discovery. The burning question is, how high can it go before a correction? Hey guys, it's Keith Allen. Hope you're having a fantastic week so far. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. Last week was huge. Quite frankly, if you are not printing green P&L at this point, you're probably doing something wrong. The numbers have been phenomenal. I mean, like insane, to be honest with you. This is what price discovery looks like. Most of you who haven't been in this game for a long time probably have never experienced anything like this. Just know this. Up only isn't a thing. Okay, this doesn't last forever like this. Now, when I say up only, I don't subscribe to the up only narrative, and anybody who's listened to me for a while certainly knows that. That does not mean that I am not bullish. I am all in, bullish, long, ready to go. But I also know that the longer that price just continues to rocket up this way, without any corrections or any pullbacks whatsoever, the riskier it is that we could have a deep correction. Now, it's common, to be honest with you, to have 25 to 50% corrections even in bull markets. And yes, that can happen. It's hard to fathom that happening right now. I don't think there's any sentiment for that at the moment, but I want to show you in the charts today what has been developing. We're going to look at the candle charts. We're going to look at FireCharts and see how liquidity is moving around. We'll check out a couple of alts as well that have just been en fuego, on fire, if you will. So before we climb in and I start sharing charts, just a reminder, if you like the streams, do me a favor, smash each and every one of the buttons, especially that little bell up there. If you're watching on YouTube, tick the little bell. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss any of the streams. While you're at it, if you're watching on YouTube, the live chat is open. If you'd like to join me, I'd love to have you. I always engage with comments. I love having you guys join me. And if you've got questions, ask them. If you've got insight you want to share, we want to hear it. So by all means, keep the comments coming. Live chat is open. Alexander, nice to have you with me. Pretty happy with BTC these days. Yes, we all are, right? So, well, except for those who have been crazy enough to short. Now, shorting in this environment, obviously very, very risky because we are on this upward trajectory. Yes, there's going to be a pullback at some point in time, but when? That's the question, right? So, let's see. Should we start on the candle chart? Should we start on FireCharts? Let's, if nobody chimes in and gives me any bearing on that, I'm just going to go with what I have on the screen first. So, let's go ahead and share screen. And I have a long-term 3-year view of the order book and order flow data available here on FireCharts right now. And you can see just this crazy trajectory up, right? We RS flipped that 69K level, which was the 2021 top. And now we've got this it's almost a celery stick, right? We do have one little kink of contour here in that 75, 76K range, and I'm going to show you that, as you can see, running into resistance here at the 85K level where we have some ask liquidity, but asks laddered all the way up to 100K and beyond here. So let's dial it in a bit if we can, right? And we can, of course we can, right? So on the weekly time frame, you can see, a little bit more granularly, the amount of liquidity right overhead, 66 million right here at this level. And a nice bid ladder bringing things up here now up to above 80K, right? I'd say the lion's share of that, biggest concentration around that 79K level with 40 million in bid liquidity right there. That's substantial. Another 45 million stacked at 89 and another 34, right? So there's serious amounts of bid liquidity and ask liquidity in the order book. But as we saw last week, there is no level that cannot be taken out if the market sentiment is there. Yes, I agree with you. 55 move. Good to have you with me, bro. So let's go again down one more time frame to the daily level, and you can see bids stacking here. Look, stair stepping up, That's helping push price up. And you can see we even have some right here in this near range at 84, helping keep price elevated. And that's going to push it, that potentially can help push it through this 85K level and upward, right? Look who's buying. Whales are buying. Pretty much everybody's buying. This yellow class is T-whopping, okay? So, yes, we do have new retail coming into the mix here. These, but also know that whales can run these T-wop bots that are going to be taking incremental profits along the way as price goes up. We see them do the same thing in the opposite direction when price is going down. Don't be alarmed. What you need to see and what you need to know is we have good bid liquidity laddered up from 75K. Another concentration right here at about 80.5. And just a little bit more here at 84, keeping us in this elevated range at the moment. So let's head over now to the candle chart where I have some pattern here, some structure, if you will. We've talked about this in the past quite a bit. If you've been following the stream for any length of time, you saw this. I actually talked about this forming all the way back in February and March when it looked like this cup was forming, and it indeed did. We got the handle formation, nice pullback. We do see volume increasing. I don't love the fact, to be honest with you, on this pattern, I would have expected to see better volume from this bottom out. It's been a little bit mixed, but we now see an increase in volume coming again here on the breakout as expected. So if and when do we get a pullback? How high can we go, et cetera, before a pullback? Well, the various levels that we've RS flipped so far, I'm going to take you back to another chart just to illustrate this a little bit better. We have, I always look for those retests of support. We don't always get them. Look at this all-time high. I can't tell you how many times I've had to change this all-time high marker over the weekend. I lost count, but we're now at 85 even. Even numbers are interesting, by the way. Sometimes they actually last for more than a minute. So this may be where we see things top out. And I don't mean like market top. I just mean like cooling off for a minute to start to build some structure. And I'll tell you why that's important. So we've seen explosive moves like this in the past. This was our consolidation here in the 25 to 30K range, which in hindsight is really where this entire run took off from. These were considered, this was a consolidation level here after the FTX crash back in 2022. This was largely considered a bear market rally. It retested the 2017 top. That was very healthy. Boom, explosive move out the top. Then we got some consolidation here. So this went from 20K up to 30K, a $10,000 move until we got some consolidation and then hit the trend line, retested the trend line, another move out the top. And then we shot up to the 40 to 45K range. We got no retest. This was that explosive move once again. We got no retest down here despite wanting one, which is evidence that the market does not care what we want. Right? Same situation here. Leaving that 40 to 45K range. Rocket out the top. No real, there was a brief moment of pullback here, right? And so these little consolidations, as brief as they may be, create some structure for price to come back down and retest on, right? So if we just rocket straight up and there's nothing, there's no contour, there's no friction in the chart, then there's no place for it to land, right? So we obviously spent months and months and months in this expanded range up to what was then the all-time high of 73.5. But really, it was the 2021 top that really served as the strongest support. I'm on a 4-hour chart for some reason. Let's go to the daily. The 2021 top, which served as the most support. We did, of course, consolidate between that mid-cycle top and that 69K level at the 2021 top for quite some time, right? So this was big. Now we have just a little bit of consolidation here around this 76K level, that could conceivably serve as support on a retest. Because we're in price discovery, there's not a lot to compare this to, right? It never happened before. This is the first time. These are all-time highs here. Every one of these are all-time highs. So we're looking for more of this kind of stuff where price isn't just growing celery stick after celery stick after celery stick, because we need something to serve as a potential landing zone when that retest finally comes. Is that retest going to come from here? Or is it going to come from 90? Is it going to come from 100? Where's it coming from? It is that's a great question. And if we look over here on this cup and handle pattern, how high we could go, I'm surprised that we haven't seen that at least a little cooling of momentum just yet. But lots of euphoria going on. Like, imagine the ETF traders who woke up to a 7 or 8% gap trade to the upside this morning. So BlackRock came in and bought like $1 billion worth of Bitcoin already this morning. So that's just like driving the demand right now. And as we make new all-time highs, new retail is going to ape in, and probably as they ape in near local tops, is when we're going to start to see some people getting punished. So in terms of how high we can go from here, I like this measured move on the cup and handle. Since I'm on a log scale, we do it as a percentile-based move. It was 77% to the downside, so I look at 77% to the upside, and that puts us at a potential target around 122.5K. That doesn't necessarily mean it's the end of the cycle top. It means that's a predicted measured move off of this structure here. Doesn't mean we have to hit it. Doesn't mean we can't go higher. Just means that's my target for this move right here. Now, could we run all the way up to 122,000 without any pullback? I think that would be far-fetched. I even think 100K would be far-fetched. But watching what we're seeing here these past couple of days, I mean, there's not a ton of liquidity in the order book. We could potentially go higher faster, right? I mean, once you clear 90K, there's very little back up to 100K. So this could come very, very quickly unless we start seeing more more ask liquidity move into that range. Let's see. 55 move. What's 85.6 area look like, Keith? Well, let me dial into that a little bit more granularly, so we can see. 85, right? Heaviest concentration is here. Like I said, we had about 40 million at that level, and some of that's starting to actually erode right now. That's 36 million, and 85.6 actually very thin up to 86K, which is another 8 million. So we're really relatively thin from 85K up to 89. And again, because we've seen $100 million walls get taken out, and I mean, this was several hundred million. I think this was 200 or 300 million in ask liquidity that got taken out over the course of this period to here. So like I said, if the sentiment is there, there's no amount that can stop this bus from rolling through. That is, let's see. Alex is asking, do I use Fibonacci extension to look for pullbacks? I do. That's a good question. I haven't drawn anything new on this one yet, but I can look and see if I have something open on my chart here. Let's see if I go to, I think I have it on this chart, perhaps. Let's see if I got a fib up here already. I do. So this is off of the 2021 top down to the bottom. Okay. So this puts us currently obviously, rolling out the top here on the 1 fib. That 1.618 actually is right there around 100K. That's pretty convenient, right? I mean, I would think actually that if and when price approaches this 100K level, that we could see an overshoot, load up a bunch of number one shorts that are going to come in at 100K, and late longers that are going to try and buy a breakout above 100K, and then crush them both, and then come back down, and then potentially, go higher up to that 122.5 target, or potentially even higher. So on this move, I kind of I don't think we're pulling back to to the golden pocket from here. I would say whether you want to look at this in terms of a fib retracement or just the last RS flip, that's here at the 6970K level, as far as I'm concerned. But like I said, we have a little bit of contour developing in the charts here around this 75, 76K level. And we have bid liquidity actually front running that, way up here. So at the moment, just based on the liquidity in the charts at the moment, I don't see a pullback down to 70K at this time. Does that mean it can't happen? Absolutely not. Anything can happen. Let's see. 55. I learned something new every day about exuberance. Yeah, this is right. So this is exuberance. It's euphoria. It's all of those things together. And we know that those tend to not end well. And when I say that, again, I'm not saying that I'm not bullish, because I am full bull at this point. Just know that at some point in time, bulls need to take a breather and collect themselves, pause, consolidate, regain strength, and keep going. Crackdown 148. In my opinion, maybe we dump before 100K because everyone's expecting 100K to TP. Just dump before that, scare people away, and then rip. Absolutely, quite possible that it's it comes from a sub 100K, from the 98, 99 level, perhaps, and then likely a push slightly above, another flush, and then onward and upward we go. I just think it's very difficult to predict at this point, since we're in price discovery, when it's going to happen, because nobody would have predicted that we would have. I mean, listen, we did predict that if Trump won the election, we would likely see a solid pump, potentially to 100K, and then a hard pullback. And the longer we go without any retracement, any consolidation whatsoever, the bigger the chance of having a nasty correction arc. And like I said, historically, there are plenty of times where we have seen significant corrections in bull markets, including the 2021 mid-cycle top that then gave us, like, I don't know, I mean, this was 56% before going back up and creating a new all-time high. So 25 to 50%, not out of the norm at all. I mean, look at this. We go back. This wasn't, if you pulled this off of this run right here that began December 2018, that's a 71% correction. Of course, that got some help from the COVID crash. So I don't think a 70% correction is likely in the cards at this stage in the game, at least not without a black swan of some sort. But the point is, there are plenty of times in history where there were significant corrections in bull markets. Here's one that goes 45%. What's this one? Okay, 40%. So you get the point. The point is, we could have a 25 to 50% correction at any time, and the bull market can remain intact. So keep that in mind, and just know that you could have these targets. There's nothing wrong with having targets to the extreme side of things, but you just might get front run. I mean, look at us. We are once again knocking on the door of the all-time high. We're less than $40 away from the all-time high, which was already set like within the hour, I think. Okay. So how do I find potential landing zones? Right here on the daily chart, you can see we have a little bit of contour here. If we move into time frames, we can get some early glimpses of where there might be some consolidation levels, and that's why I arrived at this level here. We did have a brief breakdown of this over the weekend, and price wicked down to 75.6, and we were actually talking about this. I forget if it was in our Telegram community or on Twitter, but I had mentioned that was probably the closest local support, and we came into that range. So I'm looking for more of this in the structure, whether that happens up here, whether it happens down here, whether we see more here. All of that remains to be seen here, but those are the things that you want to be looking for so that you can plan accordingly. In terms of trading leverage at this point, I'd be really, really cautious about a leverage short because even though we know there's strong ask liquidity up at this level, the sentiment to go big is there. Here we go. We're going to break this. Rejected for the moment. Still trying to eat it. Let's take a look over at FireCharts and see what this looks like here on the daily time frame. Okay, so we're not seeing a big dump from whales up here. To me, this looks like they want to eat it, but look at this. Some of this bid support has just left. So we can watch that and see how things progress from here. What else did I want to show you? Alts have been soaring, and listen, this is a good time if you haven't done so yet and you want to dabble in some shit coinery, then by all means, there's certainly huge upside potential. Look at what happened with I wanted to show you guys this. Look at this. Look at this gap that is happening here on the IBIT chart. This is BlackRock's ETF. So these traders woke up this morning to a massive gap. Is this gap going to get filled? This was the all-time high before election day. Okay. Does this gap get filled? Is it important? Do ETF gaps get filled? Well, most of them have, outside the first month or so. Right. There's a couple gaps down here, but once things got rolling, everything since February has been filled. It looks like, right? At least most of them. So might this get filled? Well, that would speak well to a potential correction. So that's just something to be thinking about. Now, I wanted to show you guys something that I think a lot of people will appreciate. We've talked about how to find entries in this market when price is just running away from you. And the way that I like to do it is with the MTF mean reversion indicator. Yes, shameless plug here, but it works. Look at this. This is the last signal that came in on November 4th. That was Monday before election day. Got a nice entry at 155, and it has been on an absolute tear since then. 50% profit in what's that, a week? How many of those trades would you like to take? I don't know about you, but I would take every one I could get. Yes. 55 move, shitcoinery, risk curve, Christmas. Listen, there is more risk with these coins for sure. No doubt about it. But there's also, the greater the risk, the greater the reward. Let's look at another one worth checking out. I haven't even looked at these, so I'm going to do this live with you guys, I guess, right? Doge, people love the Doge. And it also, when did that signal fire? That was same day, and more than 50. Oh my gosh, for real? This will make me feel bad about selling my Doge early. Let's see. We'll take it right here. That's 119%, 118%. Good Lord. Get you some of that. What's another one? How about among the shittiest of shitcoins, but one with huge potential upside? Yeah, I mean, massive numbers. This is like the olden days when we were first, before we even launched material indicators. Um, we really were just playing. We were really just testing the MTF mean reversion indicator with our community, and these were the kinds of gains we could get back in 2017, 2018. We were seeing profits like this frequently on altcoins, and this is just monstrous. So I would say when it comes to these coins, um, I'm not a hodler when it comes to shit coins. So I get in and I get out. And so yeah, I sold early, but no worries there. I picked up again and I go for the next, I go for the next setup and I take the next profit and I just keep recycling and printing more powder to put towards buying more Bitcoin. How about ETH? What has ETH done? ETH obviously making big moves here over the weekend. We'll look at it here on the MTF indicator and see, when did the last signal come in? It's been a while. These are 2% deviation. There hasn't been a ton of deviation. So this one went back to Halloween Day. And there's obviously been more. This actually, I'm on the wrong time frame. That's probably why I'm not seeing that. Let's see if we got one after Thanksgiving. Here we go. So that was Monday again. Big, huge, giant moves. So point being, this is a fantastic indicator. It's the MTF mean reversion indicator. If you're interested in this one, by all means, check it out. I'll have a link in the profile or head over to materialindicators.com. I mean, a link in the description and in the profile. Head over to Material Indicators and learn more about that one. What else do you guys want to see? We can look at what has happened here in terms of ETF inflows. And like I said, there was a post. Let me see if I can find it. There was a post from Happy Veterans Day. Happy. It's not really a happy day, but thank you to all of our veterans and the families who have sacrificed for our freedom. Freedom is not free, my friends, and really a heartfelt thank you to all of our military families. Now, I was looking for a post that I think I had shared earlier from Eric Balconis from Bloomberg, who's really been on the pulse of the ETF game. Let's see. This is a more recent one, but he posted something else this morning. Let's see if we can find it here. Bitcoin mania taking over the stock market too. It's Coinbase and MicroStrategy both in top 5 most traded stocks today. Not a surprise there. Thought he posted something that said we had like 1 million in volume. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. This was earlier this morning after the market opened. IBIT, that's BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF, has seen 1 billion in volume in the first 35 minutes of the day. Day after the election, it did that in 20 minutes. Did a bit less than that last Wednesday, but still pretty intense, pretty good early indicator of strong inflows coming this week. That's new money coming into the game as well, right? Whether it's coming indirectly through ETFs or whether it's coming in through retail traders and Coinbase, which has also reported an influx of new money. This is what helps push price up, but it's also what starts to mark at some point in time local tops. So look at this. Are you with me, guys? You see it right here. You see the order flow in the CVD. You know, the order book data in FireCharts helps you identify those levels of resistance and support. And if you're manual trading, The CVD data and the spin CVD helps us, really identify those opportunities so you can swim in the wake of the whales. And here you can see um, pretty much all classes were buying right at this time. And that is what pushed price through. So we now have a new all-time high. Look at this. I mean, I should just take this off the chart because I change it multiple times a day. Our high is now at 85,432. This train has left the station. This rocket has left the launch pad. So if you think it is too late, I've got news for you. It's not, because we I think we all have conviction at this point that there will be a six-figure Bitcoin in the not too distant future. How high it goes beyond that remains to be seen, but there's plenty of time to make money in this market. And yes, you can potentially do larger gains on altcoins, but Bitcoin is the gold standard, my friends. So do with that information as you wish. That's probably about enough for the day. If you've got any other questions, by all means, send them over, or you can leave a comment in the post on YouTube or on X. We're posting this everywhere, of course. And again, if you like these streams, do me a favor. Yes, all-time high in the live. We did it again, baby. We did it again. Actually, we had nothing to do with it, right? This is the momentum of the market. So I hope you're capitalizing on it. And if you are not printing green P&L, let me just show you. I'm gonna show you one more thing I want to share with you guys. Let's go to. We got a cool, neat metric here in the MI dashboard. It shows price returns and drawdowns. I probably got to refresh this. It's been open like all day. This shows us the relationship over the past 14-day rolling returns for all pairs, and shows the percentage of them that are in profit, the percentage of that have drawdown of more than 10%. And what you can see here, here's the rolling returns. You can see there's a lot of red here on this chart. And here you can see on the rolling drawdown, it's very, very dark. There's very few that are moving into drawdown. Let's see. There's one up here. What is this? Okay. DIA, USDT, 34% in drawdown. APE, 33% drawdown. So this should tell you the vast majority of the market, like a high tide raises all boats. Everything's going up right now. 95.5% have less than 10% drawdown, and 95% of coins are in positive territory. If you're not printing green P&L this week, you're freaking doing it wrong. All right. Pay attention to the data, go with quality, make some money. Simple as that. Thanks again, guys. I appreciate the support and the follows. Keep them coming. Looks like we're on a trajectory for at least 89K in the very, very, very near future, because look, see these gaps? Price is going to move through that like a hot knife through butter, unless we get icebergs popping up like this one just popped up here. But guess what? It's only $4 million. Now it's $10 million. It's going to get eaten. You know why? Because we're going to watch this order flow data right here. And as long as they're still going up, they're still eating. Whales are feeding today, my friends. I think we can wrap it with 55 moves comment. This, John, is fire. Have a great week, my friends. Have a great week.